Worldwide, projects have experienced numerous barriers in their implementation. These barriers are primarily influenced by the kind of measures being used and minimum amount of attention given to the practice. To improve project performance, project monitoring and evaluation are key elements. It is for this reason that Send Ghana is partnering with Integrity Action on a 2-year project in which groups of citizens in 2 districts in northern Ghana would be enabled to monitor delivery of infrastructure projects within their communities. This would encourage ownership of projects such as health and education infrastructure in the citizens by involving them directly in the process of monitoring.
This project is actually consistent with Ghana's decentralization system that citizens must play an active role in the implementation of interventions in their community. And we are hoping that at the end of the day, this project should be able to establish whether or not citizens monitoring, if effectively and efficiently done, can lead to some financial savings as far as the resource basket of the country is concerned. So hopefully at the national level, we are hoping to be able to influence government's ability to make sure that citizens are an integral part of contract execution, right from the point of awarding contract through to the execution, to make sure that there's value for money.
A visit to some project sites in the communities in West Gonja, Yendi, Tamale Metropolis, Savalungu Municipal and Tolan districts reveal how important it will be to engage stakeholders and, for that matter, citizens in project implementation and monitoring.
The level of consultation was very, very low. Even though the entire project, if you look at the genesis, the idea actually emanated from the community. Right? So if you are picking a community idea, you need to put them fully in the picture. For instance, when they came to start with the foundation and then the molding of the blocks, it was community members that actually pointed me that something was happening at the site. And so I needed to find out what actually the problem was. So when I went there, I did a consultation, and lo and behold, I was told there's the market project that kickstarts. And so I had to call the contractor to register our displeasure, because projects like that, they don't just come in. We have chiefs, we have opinion leaders in the community. We have to put them in the know so that they also contribute to project monitoring and to ensure there is value for money.
Citizens in communities such as Mimpasem and Ahassan Kura in West Gonja Municipality confirmed that project monitoring and evaluation seems to be a challenge in getting projects well executed. Where citizens are consulted, they lack the technical knowledge in ensuring the quality of projects expected.
Kadiri kembaler achimu to kajike anda tani do na yibu chu ne kijiba yita achimu to kamso mama na bre ke ba shani ko tuna because achire fil ko suna ngbo asa kuma do anyu bina da na mu ko ka moyo na nyi ko so ay man tina ko ro na ban ta ko na ya to banke mbum ge ma na trata mu kuma tini mu si Kubombo, Kumunan Gatrata, Maya Kijifala, Kubom, Katan, Bamuba, Yank, Chagatan, Gani, Falanti. The bird to more and I go right man. You pam pam. None of Bunay Kedam, Tumbaman in the Bama, but I Tumbamana, Bunayake, Bayus Krubana, to leave in the back of the use of Kruba, when a piece of Kruba will be a. But didn't come banana ni kibu mo la kakana kalakui na isuke bilin yubunaka bunu ba ma bibi chigana ka bumu ay ngana ba kana kwali.
Citizens think effectiveness and success of every monitoring plan depend largely on the capacity of the institution or individual mandated to undertake the activity and the level of engagement for such particular projects. Among these citizens are members of the disability group.
Asutara pabjana da chance me panya to chercher dim kama da zan ni tribu kala anan tabma katrato ba contrat machine fen yana katuma na to ya wuyon petuma
ashibi kama pala ya to la commission ina la fi so ina shi I'm going to shop my contract and
the situation is not different in Zakoli, Bambaya in Yendi, Tutenyeli and Savlugu in Savlugu Municipal, Tolon and Nyangpala in Tolon districts, Yagyili and Tutengli in Tamale Metro. Citizens and opinion leaders in these communities believe citizens engaged in project instruction in the health and education sector would guarantee a successful completion.
Ama awone bananka porbora ba mandana poramu
Baka ban porbora
baka ban porbora ba mandana poramu ama awone batum kurunta ambolo bunumuna sona ka de bisibre be wurfana in
Weak linkages between planning and budgeting on the other hand and project monitoring and evaluation on the other adversely affects the ultimate aim of planning, monitoring and evaluation.
Before Catherine Paloma, not a jump to party, I ain't a television jump. But my yere, you won't have the Yorako. She couldn't marry Babene, but do not be Shana Lucana. Come a show, come my Ben of Octoduna, said Ben of Octoduna.
Our decision to increase our budgets will be where we are having additional works. Sometimes you may start a project, then you want to add. Let me just mention this. In the past, most assemblies used to construct schools without adding the finishing. And usually at the end of the project, basically they cannot use it. So if along the line you realize that, oh, we have money and we can take care of the finishing too, it means you may have to review your budget upwards. Also, if along the project execution, maybe there can be variations. You want to change project design, which has cost implications. It means you have to seek for approval to review your budget upwards. Sometimes we expect the citizens to be engaged, like have interest in whatever project is happening at their communities. But we don't expect them to go attacking contractors. Because sometimes some of them come raising concerns that should say are not, let me say, in the contract agreements. Every contract has its specifications. Sometimes they may raise concerns that if you go there, you see that actually what they are saying is baseless. So we usually expect that where citizens have a cause to complain, they should channel their grievances, maybe through their assembly persons, to the office, so that the right officers will go and see their concern. The engineers will go and inspect. Then if they have a cause, then the appropriate measures will be taken.
Again, monitoring and evaluation are processes, and therefore there is need for synergy with other activities in the project cycle, such as planning and budgeting.
We have two private facilities within the municipality, which is the Rayon Clinic and then the Cougar Community Clinic, which also provides services for the people of Yendi. We have 13 chips compounds with structures where in the villages where people access healthcare. Yes, and then, so in total, we have 22 health facilities within the municipality. But we have 31 demarcated chips, but 18 of these chips have no compounds. Yes, 31 demarcated chip zones, but 18 is without compounds. Only 13 have state compounds where people can access health services from. So in total, in the municipality, we are having 22 health facilities providing health services for the people of Yendi. If you have 31 demarcated zones with only 13 compounds and 18 without compounds, then it shows that there is still a lot more to be done. Some compounds facilities need rehabilitation. Some are in very deplorable state that needs urgent attention. And then also inadequate staff accommodation too is there. So I would say there's been a little bit of improvement in the last years, but there are still a lot more to be done in order to be able to provide quality healthcare to the people of Yendi. We also have support from MPA in the construction of this compound and expansion of the municipal hospital. I think that is some of the engagement by citizens. And also traditional leaders have been doing very well by releasing lands to Ghana Health Service and partners to be able to construct facilities for them. And then one citizen way of involving the citizens is through performance feedback. We organize meetings, we involve them and provide them feedback on the activities which are being carried out in our facilities. And chiefs and opinion leaders too have played a major role by reporting some issues to the health directorate, which directorates also follow up in the facility. So in a way, I would say yes, citizen participation in monitoring of health infrastructure. These are just a few that I want to mention for now. I can talk of Send Ghana. They've been of help to us. They've provided some level of support for us. So Send Ghana did a very good job for us. And then chief and assembly members, we can't do without them. They are also on their feet, always on our doors, helping monitor some of this health infrastructure. And also Maristoke is an NGO who also collaborates with us to improve upon the health infrastructure that we have within the municipality. If citizens monitor ongoing health projects, I think it improves upon the quality of the projects, because these projects are meant for the community members. So if they monitor it very well, I think the contractor or whoever is at the facility will make sure quality work is being provided. So I think it's very important. And then commitment of resources by community members to also support the project, because they see it as their own. So they are ever ready to provide some kind of support for the project to be a successful one. And also community participation, since it's for them, I think they are always on board to make sure the right thing is also done. And then it also foster community ownerships of projects, as I've already mentioned. And then advocates for support from development partners by community members, because it's for them. So they are ever ready to do anything to make sure the good work is being done.
If you see something going on at the side and you suspect that what is going on is not the right, you don't take the law in your hand to go and stop the contractor or whatever. You quickly inform us. Then, even if that day you didn't plan visiting, then it becomes an emergency for us to go and cross check whatever information that we are getting.
Sometimes if there's a problem, the contractor himself will call us to come and do some corrections, and then he goes on. And because sometimes it's not only one project, sometimes the contractors who sometimes call us, because you'll be here and then sometimes you call for some correction, and sometimes because of resources constraint, they will even call, and then you will not even have fuel to visit, and then you have to postpone the call and then go later. It's not all that adequate, simple because of the transportation. That is sometimes, even as I'm speaking, we only have one motorbike for the department, which shouldn't be so, because we are more than 4 in the office. So sometimes if you want to go to a project and it needs some group teamwork to do some correction, it means that it hinders the movement.
Integrity Action and Sengana have started this new project in which groups of citizens in northern Ghana would be enabled to monitor delivery of important infrastructure projects and essential services within their communities. As part of this program, they wish to generate evidence on whether and under what conditions public money is saved through citizens monitoring approach.
So much resources go into this monitoring projects, issues are raised and assemblies are not committed to addressing that. And so responsiveness tracking is actually going to be a very important component of this project, where citizens will be empowered to actually follow on commitments that assemblies have made in respect of addressing specific concerns that they have raised. And so the research component at the end of the project would try to establish whether all of the issues citizens have raised in respect of various projects, whether that has actually led to some financial savings as far as our resource basket is concerned.
Service delivers, however, are hopeful that collaborating with citizens and CSOs and monitor projects will help the assemblies make some savings.
When projects are to be implemented and the engineers send the contractors to site, they first inform the chief, the assembly man, who is the representative of the people at the local level. And when the projects are also being executed or implemented, from time to time the assembly man also moves to the place. And when the assembly monitoring team is going on monitoring, they involve the assembly man of the area and some of the chiefs. When we have engagement, we invite the CSOs and the general public. We have the social accountability forum, meet the press and all those things. Those are the instances we engage the CSOs and the citizenry. So when we involve them, they also keep the project implementers on their toes, and at the end of the day we have value for money for whatever we are doing.
Once you award a contract, there are timelines for execution. So the contractor is also supposed to execute within a particular time frame. And sometimes the delay could either be from the contractor or on the side of the assembly. So where it is from the assembly's side, then it leads to overruns. Maybe you have to, the engineers usually call it variations or those kind of things. You have to sit with the assembly so that you negotiate again to. But those issues usually don't happen so much.
Integrity Actions and Sengana says their long experience of citizen monitoring approaches tells that such approaches have potential to improve services like education, health, or infrastructure. The project will help track delivery of infrastructure projects in the health and education sectors, highlight problems, engage in dialogue with key government officials, contractors, and other duty bearers, and seek a range of improvements to how these projects are delivered. The collective expectations of stakeholders is founded in the novelty of the project's implementation approach, which in same of savings is expected to be made, which will not necessarily accrue to the right project's beneficiaries, but the government. To this end, stakeholders would expect an exceptional degree of collaboration, particularly from governments, to ensure effective project implementation and to harness the lesson for possible scale-up and replication at the national level.